What's crackin', lady and gents? Let's talk about time travel. Specifically the boss, the demonic ancient dragon. This is a mage class boss, so take up the shadow ambush talent. So let's take a look at the skills. Frost is coming. Releases a blast of cold wind energy that deals 100% attack damage to all enemies. This sounds like a straightforward skill. Spirit Siphon. At the end of each round, release a blast of ice that deals 100% attack damage and 30% target's HP damage. This is a skill that does a lot of damage, so you're definitely going to need your Thinker and Aphra. Winter Harvest. The Ancient Dragon is immune to all debuffs, so that means Ronin and Karen, you cannot use them. They will just be useless. If the target's blood is below 50%, Frostfall will freeze the target forever. The freezing effect ignores immunity. So the boss freezes a character for the duration of the fight upon reaching 50%. Pretty deadly if he freezes your damage carry. Otherwise, let's move on to the character roles. Damage carries for the boss. So you've got Toko and Forest of Avatar. They are just made for single target. So they are the best picks. However, you can still use Indira. She will eventually hit a wall at around level 17. Then she will need another damage carry to accompany her. And very likely that'll just be Toko and Forest of Avatar. The Queen is in the similar position as Indira. She'll hit a wall around 16-17 as well, and she's also going to need a damage carry to accompany her. Now let's take a look at the tanks. So General of Rescue, most people will have him. He's still good to use, and I still use him due to the fact that I have my whole team as a Superman. So the whole team gets the Superman faction buff. Rex and Kinley is also good to use. So I don't have a Rex yet. So this guy here, Rex and Kinley.
Don't go!
That one.
Did I say to let you go?
They are preferred because of their damage output being higher than General of Rescue. Thinker is, you have to have him in your team, regardless. He's essential for this boss because of his shields, and he lets your team survive longer. Now for the supports, I still use Einstein just for the fact that he's Superman faction and is able to resurrect your teammates. You can use Aphra. He is a must use so that the damage output of the boss can be out-healed. I also use Cupid. It's not really preferred to use him, but I only used him to buff up my Toko and general damage by 40%. I could see that I was always losing the fight with like a sliver of health on the boss. Well, I just needed an extra couple more million to kill him, so I thought I'd just use him. So this is the kill here, and I'm the only one at level 18 to kill him so far. I'm using a Cupid. In regards to debuffing the boss, he is immune to all debuffs. So this includes Sally's skill that reduces his armor. Same with Houston.
It seems that
they're both useless against the boss. This includes Karen and her skill
with the exoskeleton
that increases damage to the boss by 40%, which stacks. That includes Ronin as well, and I've seen a lot of people use Ronin on him, and that doesn't even work against him. So yeah, don't use any of those characters. For your main damage carry talents, you'll have to go Shadow Ambush. This is a mage class boss. That's a must-have. Another must-have is Titan Killer. You cannot choose anything else. Ghost Curse for more damage. You can use Fearless Persistence just for a bit of survivability, just for that 15% armor buff, but not really recommended. You can either use Rush Offense or Death Gaze. Death Gaze does do more damage in the long run, but if you use Rush Offense, that's actually also just as good if you're trying to progress through that the boss. Now for your tanks and their talents.
You need electrotherapy.
You'll of course use Shadow Ambush. You'll of course use Titan Killer. You have a choice of 3 here: Overprotection, Ghost Curse, Fearless Persistence. I use Ghost Curse because most tanks will survive a lot of the hits anyway. And for Overprotection, if your Aphra can out-heal the damage, then Overprotection is really good. Fearless Persistence, you can use that as well. If your Aphra can't out-heal the damage, then you can use Fearless Persistence just for a bit more survivability. For General, I use specifically Death Gaze. But if you're not using a General, you can either use Death Gaze or Rush Offense, which is essentially the same as a damage carry. Let's take a look at the supports and their talents.
What's my superpower?
So,
Imagination.
Super Shield, use that for this boss to prevent one-shots and have a good amount of HP in the first 2 rounds, so that Aphra and Tinker can out-heal the boss's damage. You can also use Ode to Death. For the second talent, you can use either Selfless Guardian or Vitality Armor. For this boss, I use Vitality Armor to help with survivability. For the third talent, you can either use Overprotection, Fearless Persistence, or Critical Cure. For this boss, I use Fearless Persistence to add to survivability. And you can use Overprotection if your Aphra can out-heal the damage output of the boss. Critical Cure, not really recommended because you need a lot of crit on your Aphra, and it only applies to self-heals, basically. For the last talent, you can use Defensive Barrier. That's a must-have for supports. Let's quickly talk about your low awakened characters. Let's say you've got an Epic Plus, Legendary Plus. So if you've got an Epic Plus, you can get all the way up to level 15. So my character is Andromedan. So I've got an Epic Plus Queen. After level 15, you'll just get one shot. For level, what level was that? 16? You can get away with using a Legendary Plus, so like my Thinker. I accidentally just had the 3 characters and miraculously completed it. So 17, you can still get away with a Legendary Plus, but with 18, I've got a Legendary Cupid, but my Einstein was just resurrecting him that whole time. And I only use Cupid for the lover buff for both General and Toko, and that's about it. But otherwise, Legendary Plus will just get one shot here. Even my Mythic Thinker still gets one shot. Well, almost one shot. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna need more awakened levels when you get up to 19 and above. Let's talk about gear levels. So when I was still in the earlier stages of the boss, I upgraded my blue and purple gear to a minimum of 5 enhancement, sometimes all the way only to complete quests to upgrade them. When I hit the anti-entropy gear, I went for a combination of level 10 enhancement and all the way up to 15, depending on the stats I was given. When I got up to the Godslayer equipment, I went up to
Peak is easy to
level
reach,
15
but it's hard
all the
to
way.
maintain sheer will.
For the spaceship, you can use the Black Samurai, which is this one. Amazing single target for this boss. If you're having trouble with survivability, you can use the Restore Ship, which is this one. And is still a very good choice. That does it for the guide on Demonic Ancient Dragon. Thanks for watching. My current favorite game, X-Hero.